What's up, guys? It's Mr. Jamvet, and today we are back on the Pokemon Showdown server. And today we're using this Rillaboom Zero Aura team, Passing Me by Toes. I feel like a lot of these teams have the similar, like, same-ish structure. Part of it is just kind of like, again, with the lower ladder, I need to have a bit of cushion for the random stuff so that one thing doesn't throw me off. You know, when you're using offense, right? Offense, if you understand what the concept of value is, offense's goal is to take value from the opponent faster than you can take value from you, not to preserve value. Stall's job is to preserve as much value as possible while slowly taking value from the opponent, whether it be in indirect ways like toxic or hazards, rocky helmet, all that stuff, or even, taking away your PP. All of which are indirect methods of taking value. And so that's something to be mindful of. Before we begin, as we look for a battle, I'd like to shout out a up-and-coming YouTuber. Guys, go and subscribe to this man right now. I see a lot of promise in him. He's actually somebody I'm currently working with, so if you want to, this is the closest you'll get to a free session where I'm literally pretend I'm talking to you, and kind of live vicariously through Ninjak. But the dude's mindset is something really to be learned from. Like, very, very, very impressive. And so again, I see a lot of good coming from him. So I definitely subscribe. Get him to 100 subscribers. And I don't think you will be disappointed, especially when you see our sessions coming out. So obviously a lot of electric types, but Landorus is useful for other reasons as well. What kind of Landorus? I should have checked the team. Okay, typical Lando. Okay, so Landorus's core purpose is going to be primarily the Lecky, which makes me think he's going to try to overwhelm whatever ground type with that Coco, and the Lecky is going to be rising voltage. But I do also have Zero Aura, which he doesn't want to see. Zero Aura almost guarantees me a win as well after Swampert has been withered, and in order to do so, Future Sight, the only Future Sight Virginia has is Melmetal. Actually, Boom plus that could work. Heatran massacres him. In fact, this might be a pretty simple win depending on how much he knows. And so I'm gonna be a bit cheesy here. Slowking isn't too valuable. Mandibuzz is critical for Boom. And so I'd assume not Melmetal. Okay, actually starts off with the Swampert. What do I want to do here? Man. So I'm going to U-turn. I mean, I know Melmetal is coming in. The thing is, well, I'm actually modest. If I hit this Magma Storm, I'm in a really great spot because I want to trap Swampert. Because I have, please hit. Thank you. So Swampert is gone, which, Zero Aura. I'm modest. I just realized that actually helps in this game. We have the technology, so no, he has no way to beat this Heatran. I'm assuming he has superpower. He's superpower knockoff. Landorus makes a lot of sense here. Mandibuzz, depending on what his card is, I don't want that to get too out of hand. But he can't set up rocks, so I'm open to losing my item here if he goes for knockoffs. He has high horsepower, which is pretty rare, and he's not choiced. Interesting. I expected him to be banded for sure, and so so many ways to go about this, right? But this is one of the few things as well that my Zera isn't beating. Well, my Zera isn't sweeping. Who are we kidding here? I'm just thinking of what's the best way to take value here. So I'm going Rillaboom here over Zera or Landorus, primarily because I don't want Landorus taking. I have all the momentum here. I have all the leverage. I have all the everything, right? So U-turn back to, yeah, that did a lot. Is that Is that physical? So smart of him to go to cart this time. I just want to preserve as much value as possible. Let's say this is choice scarf, and I don't have enough information, so let me just wait it out and see. Because I know Coco is coming. Did he have leftovers? No, he doesn't have leftovers. Surprised he U-turned instead of. So I'll just glide this time. Yeah, I don't know why he just. I expected Melmetal, but then he crossed my mind. I was like, he U-turned. Does he not know, like, who we be? And so, no matter what variant of cart this is, Mandibuzz comes in and foul plays if he SDs. Is that banded? Regardless, here, we're gonna do something that I often find players forget to do, which is heal their wall or value absorber. So Melmetal being in, we force the U-turn, and we're gonna give up the weakest link to the team, which is Slowking. Bash. It's not Bandit. I don't think Bandit would have done way more to me. And as I said, he doesn't have anything to guard against Future Sight. Be a little cheeky here. Little cheeky. I know, and even if he Ice Punches, it won't kill, but in no case does he Ice Punch here. And this allows for us to U-turn, not because we're trying to make some really sexy prediction or anything like that. It's just that now he's gonna Ice Punch, and Slowking has to, let's see, Future Sight, teleport. His last move might be Superpower, might be Earthquake. We'll see. Maybe Assault Vest. So we're gonna Scald here. He doesn't burn. High Horsepower, very interesting indeed. So we're likely gonna see a U-turn out into Melmetal. There's no point in me sacking this. He actually goes for knock, which works out a little better for me. Now I know his entire moveset, because Grassy Glide is obviously the other one. So it actually goes to Lecky, which surprises me. Just ensures that I get a lot of value here. This is a free close combat. Free, but very little drawback. I guarantee some value, right? Does mean that now he can go for a U-turn, which is starting to wither at my Mandibuzz, so I don't want to go to that this time. I just wish that my Heatran just kills him on every time, but it's again such one Magma Storm miss really puts me back, so I'll delay as much as possible any kind of my opponent inching back into the game. Should U-turn here, U-turn out into Lecky. Okay, I'm going Rillaboom. I don't die to any move. I know he's gonna U-turn. Just forces in card or Melmetal. I'm still not sure what the card is, but my Mandibuzz is healthy enough to take it on. That'll get me back up to full, and then I can eventually just foul play beat the remainder of his team. There's the cart. He doesn't even have. I could see him doubling, but like he doesn't get him too much mileage. Yeah. So this is what I wanted. That way we can come back in. I'll take this little bit of chip. This what, 3%? Yep. Man, my head count game is crazy. And he doesn't want Landorus coming in for free. That's his worst case. So he's always gonna just go for double Iron Bash here. But because I made the Lando play last time, he's a little bit weary. He's a little wary. It's just that. Is it better to have Future Sight? Yeah. Yeah, I figured he'd do that. I'm just debating whether or not it's even worth the switch. The Ice Punches again, Future Sight. No, that's fine. I'll teleport here. Should ice punch again or double iron bash again? Ah, I barely didn't survive. So this allows for us to go to Lando, and we guarantee a KO here. Yeah. Oh, he left the Melmetal in, which is fine. I didn't want the Melmetal alive. Because that's one of the few things he has left that can. Let me think. Is it over 2 Mandibas now? With if I set up rocks here, if I set up rocks, go to Zera. If I set up rocks, go to Mandibas. No, I'll keep this. He actually was trying to sack the card, which works out better for me. I was just gonna go to my Heatran. At this point, Heatran is slower than everything on his team. Yeah, and Smart Strike actually hurt. He's Orb. Wow, how did I miss that? Like, how did I gotta pay attention to these things. But generally, as I've said before, whenever I'm very focused on the long term of a game, from time to time, my brain just cannot perceive everything unless I really slow down. So let's aim to get to at least 1400 by the end of this episode. I thought we were already there, to be honest, but these lower ladder teams they're coming with the power, man. I gotta give it to them, and I respect it, because one, if you're watching the road, your aim is to enjoy the journey, right? So it wouldn't really make much sense to, unless you're just like, okay, I want just to see high level play, quote unquote. But if you can't respect the guy at the bottom, those are the ones that are gonna come up and punch you in the mouth, and then you're gonna have to either accept that, or you're gonna have to do some kind of ego protection, or where you tell yourself that you didn't really lose and it wasn't really your fault, it was the opponent, and all this. Tran is very important here. This actually is not an easy one. He has quite a few counters for everything on my team. He has two solid Zera checks in Amoonguss and Landorus. Rillaboom, he has Amoonguss and Skarm, Heatran, T-Tar, Slowking. Slowking is tricky for him. Mandibuzz the T-Tar, and Landorus the Skarm and the Lando, so I can't even guarantee toxicking his Lando, which is problematic. It's gonna take a lot of Mew is always one of those ones, right, where you're like, you never quite know, you know. Particularly in this part of the ladder, I actually want to go directly to my Tran. It gets me a lot of value. The part of me wants to go to Slowking too, because I can teleport versus whatever he does. I'll go to Tran for, it's super important though, but I don't think he'd ever go for anything that couldn't touch, right? So gonna Magma directly here. Nature Power is considered a non-attack. Wow. Yeah, he goes for knock. Please hit. I'm modest. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. But not enough damage to where, yeah. I'll taunt here on the off chance he does. Oh, that was a ballsy taunt. Him knocking out my item is a huge deal. But again, with Mew, you just never know. And he's playing it well too. He is playing it well. On the off chance he does something silly like not go for softball here, I'll Magma Store. Earth Power here. He should just go hard to turn attack. Yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. Like, he's played very well. Like, every play he's made up to this point are plays that, like, I can co-sign, that I probably would have made myself. And so he has leftovers, which could mean like a random Ice Beam coming out. I've shown taunt I'm gonna go to Rillaboom as the best mid ground. Rocks could come out toxic. I got you. So look at they predicted my landers to come in through Heatran and all that stuff. So like, dude knows what he's doing. Now because he left the Mew in, how nature's power is what? Move called another. It's energy ball. I just wanted to know like the stat. I think this stab would be. He goes landers. It's still gonna hurt. But wow, that didn't hurt. He's probably like max HP. That did nothing. I figured energy ball. I wonder if it gets the stab from it though. This is actually a really difficult game for me. Not an easy matchup. I can't afford to lose Tran under any circumstances. And because he has the he's gonna rocks, yeah. The question is, do you toxic me back or do you scar? Me getting toxic on his Lando is really important. Yeah, he does. That's not great, but him being toxic and having rocks is gonna be a big deal for my Zero Aura. And I can control hazards too. And so Mew, I mean, Heatran plus, I don't think you ever body press here, but Heatran plus, he does spike. I don't think he stinks as much, because Heatran is something you never want in there. So, knockoff Scald. That's a really bad Mew for me. Is it probably Will-O-Wisp? Man, I should have went Tran. Tran would have gotten me a kill. This guy is playing very well. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on an alt. This team is a really poor situation for me. How could I win this? It's gonna be through Tran. If I leave this into burn, it's gonna knock off. I let him taunt here. If he knocks this turn, it'd be better. Soft boils. Okay, this isn't bad because he has to taunt this turn to avoid toxic or hard switch into Skarmory. In either case, it's not amazing, but I can deal. Okay, and so he's gonna be a little below 50. I wonder what his other move is. I'd assume Will-O-Wisp. Which is unfortunate because I gotta go to Boom here and knock Skarm's item off. Is that more important than the U-turn? So yeah, I expected something along the lines of body press. Tran's gonna take a lot of. Oh, you whirlwinded there. Yeah, I got a fog. It's too much. He's taking too much value. Man, so be it. This is crazy that I'm facing such competent players so early in the game. It's a big magma hit there. I doubt he's probably just gonna rocks again. I doubt he has Ice Beam. If he does, then kudos. And it's crazy because a normal team would beat this, like something without a Zero or like something a little more standard, like a Lele or something would run through this, or a Pult. I'd eat him alive with a Dragapult. I'm gonna have to make the right reads. If he has the Ice Beam, I might just lose. He has crunch. Crits me. Every fucking bit of damage matters in this game. It's a really big crit. That's a really huge crit. He should never stay in here. That's a big crit, man. Even not having his Rocky helmet isn't that important. But maybe something with Future Sight and Zero Aura, we can get this party popping. So we go to Tran here. I'm getting a lot of damage, but between oh, what the fuck? Why would you? You think like that was some pivotal kill, but the game is still hard. As Among Us is really the big issue, but him just giving me that was horrible play. And so what I'll do here is I have to start like bobbing and weaving here. He thunderbolted hard. Didn't expect him to thunderbolt hard because my Zero and whatnot, but I guess he doesn't fear it, which means he has. Okay, he doesn't fear my Zero. Oh man, that sucks. U-turn wouldn't have killed me there, but Lando coming in is actually not bad for me. If I had to, like, of all the options I had, I can see him U-turning again here, but that's why rocks were so important. Who was faster last time? Did he U-turn? He goes back to Mew. Yeah, he's slower than me. Which means we're staring down. How do we beat the Mew? That's the real question. How do we beat the Mew? The Mew beats my entire team if it's Will-O-Wisp. Wow, I can't believe this random lower ladder team is beating me. But he's using it really well. He's using it really well. I must commend him on that. I know what I'll do. And Zero Aura's pressure, because he should just U-turn. But with the Intimidate, it's fine. He should go back to Coco. And so now this is going to come down to those predictions. Yep. And so I want you taking hazards. Surprised he went hard Lando. He's made some questionable decisions, but he's played well up to this point. Like, for example, Lando is dead now. I don't think he needed Lando to be the one that was sacked. Ops for Mew. To me, is more my Slow King will lose its item, but I'll burn Mew. Is that worth it? Really, what I want to do is go hard Heatran and get a Flash Fire boost, which would force the Mew out to his Tyranitar. But that's if. Why don't you just softball first? Softballing first makes more sense to me. Yeah, he doubles to Among Us, so Heatran would have made some sense there. I'm assuming this has Toxic. And he wanted to catch my Mandibuzz, but Mandibuzz isn't even that great. Unless this has Stun Spore too. But he's giving my Buzz the free switch. He has Giga, okay. So he's starting to let up on the momentum. Like, he has the potential. What? Guys. Isn't that crazy? Like, but it's what makes this so interesting, and I think this is a really important game. This shows what I discuss about how players' misplays can actually help them. This is the case where opponent had a ridiculously good matchup versus my team, but he doesn't know how to navigate. He doesn't see what I see, right? He doesn't have the knowledge or experiences yet to know how to pilot it. And so he's realized, like, to him, from his perspective, is like, I'm not gaining any ground, right? I'm getting outplayed. But he's just trying to outpredict me. He's like, okay, I think he's going to, so I'm going to react to what I think he's going to do. And so that allowed for him to give up his landers and his Skarmory, trying to outpredict me. But he didn't even need to do a lot of predicting. Like, he had a very good matchup versus me. He just needed to switch wisely. And so because of the illusion of me being impenetrable, because I have all 6 and it seems like I just know what he's doing, and when he gains ground, he loses ground. I'm like, dude, you have a Mew that literally almost single-handedly beats me, you know. But hey, I'm glad I didn't give up. That was definitely one of those games where it's like, yo. And I asked you guys, you know, whether or not you feel like I should wait until I get out of the certain rungs of the lower ladder, maybe, you know, to 1500, 1600 before I start counting down to 10. I don't think I want to do that. I'd rather raise the losses to account for it, meaning like raise it to 15 and just kind of account for random lower ladder stuff that I'm going to encounter, or just not do it at all. Because it just, you know, that guy beat me fair and square. I threw the game for the one loss I did have. And so I don't want to kind of make that one, oh yeah, that didn't count, you know, because at the time it did. So I want to keep these stakes high. Looking at this, very weird stuff, but I love it. Mandibuzz is insanely good. Mandibuzz, Shutdown Dragonite, Shutdown Gengar. It's not insanely good, that's a lie. Lando is pretty damn good. Future Sight, your Guardian is Heatran. So what I need to do, Future Sight plus what? Can he guard against Future Sight plus Magma Storm, Earth Power? Future Sight plus Earth Power, kinda. Future Sight plus EQ. I don't think Future Sight has too much utility in this game, to be honest. But what I'm going for game plan wise, and the fact that he led Dragonite, one thing with me, man, like I am not with, actually you could Toxic, I probably should consider Toxic, but Ice Beam is what I was gonna say. One thing with me, man, I do not, these random guys with their, let me think, what would be more beneficial? A teleport on the Bulu coming in, inviting who? Nah. But he could have Toxic. I'm surprised he went hard Gengar. I don't really agree with the Gengar play. Unless he has Trick, I'll teleport here. I figured he'd Sludge Wave anticipating my Mandibuzz. That's Specs. So he loses value here because something is going to have to take a knockoff plus a Future Sight, which is great. Which is likely to be Bulu, which is the main Zero Aura check that he has. Excellent. So you lose your item and you have to take this Young Sight. Assault Vest, that's not going to take it. I mean, it's not going to take that much. But in being AV provides a lot of information. Likely Horn Drill coming out. Mandibuzz does sometimes beat Bulu, but not feeling ultra confident in this one. My Lando is really important. I don't want it taking too much damage, but it shouldn't. He actually anticipated my, what's his face? Let me think. Toxic is free here. It's the best play. Is Toxic better than Rocks? Which gives me more value. You'd never go Gengar here. Yeah, you would. You could go Gengar here. I'll Stealth Rock here. Surfetch, like Toxic on Surfetch is irrelevant. So, this monster though, I wall him in a way, but he could technically just CC here. Maybe this is, man, I didn't respect this enough. This is actually a huge issue for me. I'm gonna Toxic this Leaf Blade. Whoa, and he crits me. That's fucking lame. That's really lame that he crit me there. But he's not banded, which means Buzz can come in. Buzz is super important too. Well, if the Dragonite was Dragon Dance, yes. I don't like that he crit me there. That's actually like really important. Let me think. Huge Sludge Wave here. Sludge Wave or Trick. He specs, so Sludge Wave or Trick or a Thunderbolt. I don't want Mandibus taking a lot of Sludge Wave damage here. And I'm not confident going to Tran, especially because he has a Dragonite. So I'll go Slowking as a mid-ground. Yeah, because I eat 2. But I know he's going to go for the roll. And I know he specs. He doesn't know I know he specs, but I know he specs. And we're going to find out if this Dragonite is heavy duty boots. I don't think you ever go Tran. What I could do is Dragonite, heavy duty boots, Landers, Heatran. I wish I had Toxic here. I'm going to Earth Power. I do think he goes hard Tran, goes hard Bulu. So he was going to sack his Bulu. I outspeed, but if I miss, I'm probably taking a close combat, which I don't want to take. Problem is I don't have anything else that wants to take it. Okay. Weird team he has, but it just works here. Like, it's such a problem. I think he's going to leave it in. It doesn't matter. The most value taken here is the U-turn because we're aiming to potentially Zero Aura sweep him, right? So Bulu being weakened already, regardless of whether he's staying in, is one of his core Zero Aura switches once I bulk up. After a bulk up, depending on the Dragonite, I just destroy him. Okay, so he allows me to take that thing's item. So his boots. I wonder what his other moves are. Part of me wants to go Zero Aura, but Zero Aura's too important. And I can late game sweep with that, because this thing really destroys me. And it walls a lot of my team, which I'm not fond of. I'm gonna go Slowking again here. I'm a Future Sight. Generally, Ice Beam will never have a setup potential, which is good. So it goes to Gengar here. Future Sight. He's definitely gonna Shadow Ball here. I keep staying in with the Slowking like I'm invincible. Yeah. And so now you have a decision. Do you think you always go to your Heatran? I don't want Heatran in. So I U-turn here. The keeping this healthy isn't as important. Not at full at least. Being 21% less. Oh, he left. Maybe he's getting frustrated. That's the thing with guys who are lower in the ladder. Like, if you give them too much thinking to do, they leave. And I've noticed that when I'm training people, that people who tend to be around this range click really quickly. They'll click and then think after. Well, thinking is even a stretch, but it's something I never really considered because I guess my style of playing has always kind of inherently had the thinking component. So I never really pointed out the fact that it's just slow down playing. Just slow down before you make a decision. And that alone will... And he's 1500 roughly. And he just dipped. He's like, I can't break this team. Which isn't true. But, you know, I'll take it, as I said. Also, guys, the boot camp is now... It's a new month next day. It's a new month tomorrow. And so, the boot camp is open for the month. I'll be accepting a few less people this month because I have some coaches taking a break, or a coach taking a break, so I don't have as many hands. And so if you want to get into that now. I'll probably take at most 5 people this month, and I already have one well, I already have one or two people, one for sure, but or 2 for sure, whatever. I have people that I work with every month, no matter what, so I guess they count. But very interesting squad. Zero Aura is my savior. Gotta be careful that I roll a bone, but Zero is very good here. Assuming I weaken Chomp or just straight up kill it, depending on what kind of Chomp it is. Can't guard very well against Knockoff. Can't guard very well against Heatran. So because he can't guard very well against Heatran, I'd assume Chomp would be his initial switch every time, which would allow for... I don't think this team... I guess it did kill the Swampert, but I was gonna say I don't think this team needs nature power. Like I find myself missing the toxic on Tran, but we'll make do. Slowking shuts down Lele completely. Mandibus Rillaboom. So what I'm looking at here could be Torrentee. I think Rillaboom's a poor lead. Let me think. What? Umbreon. Oh, let's guarantee some value out of this turn. I could U-turn, but Torrentee coming in on my U-turn would just free back up Garchomp. No, I guess I could. It's just too much variance in that. And what I was gonna say is, if I U-turned here, for example, then I'd have to go to Zero or a knock, and then we're back to square one, where we're gonna have to figure out, well, is this Chomp? I guess based on item, I could tell if he has Toxic, but now I know he's gonna stay in, which allows for me to Toxic is gonna defog, right? So assuming I connect the Toxic, Excelente, that puts me in a position of power. As now, whenever he comes into Stealth Rock, it's to Stealth Rock to what's his face. I'm in a slightly better position because he's on a timer. I don't want my Slowking's item gone, but I don't want anybody's item gone. Don't want Tran's item gone. I mean, whoever wants their item gone, though, right? I mean, who are we kidding? He only has rocks, though. The reason I'm thinking about that is like, okay, well, but I guess I can offensively check Lele as well, because I know he's going to knock there. And so we're looking at him potentially. I think, then what would you come back in on with Mandibus? Yeah, I want the future sight. I know he's going to U-turn, and I'm significantly weakened. I probably actually might have been better to just slack off there. But I don't think he'll go to anything that can... So he goes to Tran, which surprises me. If it's a Spadef Tran, like if it's a slower Tran than my own, I'd feel comfortable going to my Heatran here. Heatran, huh? Why'd you go Heatran? I mean, there are a couple reasons, but part of me thinks he's just like, I'll get on my rocks. Like that's the extent of his logic. And since I lost my boots, and like if I don't get any value out of this turn, it's pretty shit. So let's call it first to see what kind say does Storm. So if I had slacked off there, so that looks offensive. Me losing Slowking here was pretty bad. I didn't think Magma Storm would be his initial play, so he might got is that offensive? I can still win without the Slowking, so it's not like the worst thing in the world. I just knew had he Toxic and I slacked off, I guess maybe slack off was slightly better. I guess slack off was slightly better. I didn't think Magma... I won't lie. Magma Storm didn't cross my mind for him to go for. I figured he'd Toxic or Rocks, so I could just slack off either way. But yeah, that was actually a misplay. Because the Lele specs. Yeah, I didn't respect Slowking enough in this one. Because my Heatran is offensive, so it can't switch into Lele often. And I can't tell what this Heatran is based on that damage. Oh man, this is tough. Because we're back at square one. So I'll do is go to Zero Aura and I'll CC first, because I know it'll guarantee value off Chomp or Rillaboom. And it will kill Tran. I mean, if it doesn't kill Tran, we're fucked. So it's helmet chomp. Yeah, I think I played this one too cautiously. He's gonna leave it in. It's fine. It's not fine. I want it toxic, but you shouldn't leave this in. Yeah, I really misplayed. Yeah, he shouldn't have left that in. That was a misplay. Because if I had toxic the chomp into, he should go Torn here, Umbreon. But I can trust that he'll probably make some misplays. So that's kind of what I'm gunning for right now. Could protect, that's fine. It's not fine, but it puts my Heatran in, forces him to wish. Let's not waste time Magma Storming. I'll Earth Tower here. He should never go to his Tran. Maybe Garchomp. But he left it into fucking healed. Oh my god, man. I'll Magma Storm here, hoping that I hit. Yeah, I don't think he. Oh my! I gave my opponent way too much credit in this game, and it's biting me right now. Hopefully, I connect. Yeah, I gave him way too much credit, and it's really hurting me. Foul play, because now my Tran is weakened. Yeah, I think I might have just lost this already, to be honest. And this is it's 100% my fault. I don't regret. Maybe the not slacking off with Slowking, but I don't regret too many of my decisions. And it's not over. It's just, again, it's very hard to tell like what an opponent knows, especially given what we just witnessed from the past two games, right? Those were games where the opponent had decent enough shots. And this is a situation where I think the opponent is going to double like to Lele or something, right? But let's see. What you toxicking, Mandibles? I stayed in last time, but what would you do with your Garchomp if you stayed in? That's the thing, it's just a poor play. The guy sacked his Skarm. What would I need to happen here? I need for him to... You should never leave your Chomp in. But I can't have Torn coming in for free, which is why I'm like really focused on the momentum. I've shown toxic, like Rillaboom is never the play. And so that's why I'm saying like I can bank on the opponent like misplaying and we can get somewhere from that, but so what I'm gonna do is go to Zero Aura first, which looks crazy. Jam, what you doing? You crazy? But then I'll go to Mandibuzz on the Force Grassy Glide. Yeah. Then this allows for me to U-turn out. And on his Heatran, oh, he goes Chomp. Good play. What do you go to now, though? I think he's gonna leave it in. The Chomp being gone opens me up a bit. If he gives me the Rillaboom, then maybe my... If he goes Tran here, that's not good. But... yeah. Him going Chomp there was a good play. So he makes good plays and then makes like horrible plays. And my job is to... Alright, the Torn got non-toxics. Right. Ideally, he Hurricanes. U-turns. He makes the good play. Damn. So I need for him to choke. I need a choke here. Chomp makes sense, obviously, but my Lando does mean that the should always just go to maybe Mandibuzz was a play there. I keep U-turning. Yeah, thankfully it chokes. Please, please, please fucking hit. Thank you. It's a horrible Fire Blast. He doesn't need it. Like, my Lando is just not a threat. So ideally he goes to Torn here. I'll go Mandibuzz. I need it to be healthy. He Fire Blasts. Me being toxic sucks, but that's him leaving his Chomp in, you feel me? Which is Zero Aura. And if I can get him to choke and give me his Rillaboom, then that puts me in a decent spot. He dies here. I want to U-turn badly. Does he go to Heatran? Up. Question is he faster than me? If he is, he goes for Magma Storm. If he's not, he goes to Torn. And the question is he faster than my Tran? This at least allows for my Landers to survive. So much I put myself in. Very impatient decision with the Slowking. So that worked out. And so this allows for me to, at the very least, if I connect here, get a KO. I'm tempted to Earth Power, but he might leave it into knockoff. Yeah, please hit Tran. I need this. Thank you. Tran, you're king. Now, I am pretty Moonblast weak right now, but I do have the Grassy Glide going for me. So, push come to shove if it's Scarf. I don't know why you'd ever go back to Chomp. Unless you had like Dragon Tail or something, but Earthquake is clearly your last move. Right. Do I defunk here? He's getting frustrated, so he's just gonna sack it. No, he goes to Tran. Good play. But I feel like he's in the Earth Power. Chomp dies to Rock Splash. Force there. I can live without it. I need his Strangon though. He does Magma. He can't guard against ground right now. If I go Zero Aura and bulk up, it forces him to go to Rillaboom or Lele. If I go Tran, I have 2 rock switch-ins, and then I risk him being faster than my Heatran. Timid. Skull did 35. That feels like HP to me. I know he's gonna stain if I go to this, which is why I'm like Tran, but if he's faster than me, I lose a lot of value. I don't lose the game. Okay, yes. So we can start Grassy Gliding again. Guys, I don't know why I'm giving y'all fucking anxiety by putting myself in these horrible positions. I generally don't make plays that straight up lose me the games, but I'm certainly not helping my case right now, and so my goal here is to, I think he has to Psychic, which would allow me to, allows for me to, unless he's not choiced. I'll Earth Power here. Yeah. The question is he choiced. If he's not, then Mandibuzz doesn't die. I need the defog. I can't have. Or do I go Rillaboom? Let me think. Rillaboom, Grassy Glide, Garchomp. He brings back in Lele, Moonblast. Go back to Rillaboom. I think it just comes down to whether or not this is
I just don't want him randomly predicting me. I think I have enough, even after the rocks damage from the chomp. He has to go back to Lele after this, yeah. So I take a lot, but he has to go back to Lele. I guess it comes down to whether or not it's his choice now, yeah? Because if I sack Zero Aura, let me think. If I sack Zero Aura here, no, Zero Aura isn't even the sack. Because let me think. Go Zero Aura. Man, the Buzz is better. Because if he double switches on my Zero Aura, I'm fucked. Whereas here, it's just guaranteed. I think that's Scarf. I think that's Scarf. But I have enough sacks. Unless his Rillaboom wasn't choiced. Yeah, he made the correct decision. I didn't mean to foul play there, but whatever. I didn't mean to click foul play. I meant to click U-turn. But yeah, we'll find out whether or not this was Scarf. If it was Scarf, then it was the right decision to go Manda Buzz. I guess it doesn't really matter what we click here. Yeah, so Rillaboom comes through. Man, what a nerve-wracking game. Again, opponents lacking the long-term thinking ability, but they gave me a run in the beginning, right? They have the weird enough team structure and sporadic enough play styles to where it's like, okay, I can't quite read them, but my team does not have the backbone enough to weather the storm. Like, it's not, if he didn't start throwing, or the opponent with the Among Us didn't start throwing, this one wasn't as bad of a matchup as the Among Us one. I certainly misplayed with my Slowking. I could have, used the value a bit more, but you understand now why, I didn't want my Heatran's item gone versus the Torn. As you saw how pivotal it was towards this game, smacking the Umbreon, which would have been a huge issue for me. Huge issue if I didn't trap that Umbreon. So Heatran's Magma Storm hitting is great. But we ended up pulling through. Yeah. Welcome to Road to Top 10, the movie, where Jam gives you anxiety with all this battling and crazy plays and putting himself in the back, but it wouldn't be fun otherwise. So if you made it this far, guys, please let us get this video to 300 likes. I know way more than 300 y'all watch this, so if you're a consistent watcher of mine, there's no reason you shouldn't be hitting the like button. If you forget, understandable, but let's get this to the top. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one.